My name is Dylan Rispoli, and I just graduated from Northwest in June.
I'm Joan Keating McKeon, and I teach English here at Northwest Catholic.
How did Dylan become valedictorian? I really don't know. It just kind of happens. I don't know.
I don't think there's a mystery to it, frankly. I don't think we need to call in the detectives. He worked hard, he studies hard, he's got a good heart, nose to the grindstone. That's how.
Alrighty, she's trying to flatter me. Let's keep going.
How many vests does Ms. Keating McKeon own? Well, I have a purple, a white, a green, 2 pinks. In fact, yes, 2 pinks, 2 blues, 3 blacks, 1 tan, 1 gray, 2 gray. Have you done the math?
What was Dylan's favorite part of Northwest? I think my favorite part was when our mock trial team went to semifinals this year. It was the first time we'd done it, and I'll never forget the look on everyone's face when we found out we were going. It was certainly quite a moment.
Favorite Shakespearean piece? That's tough. Well, my favorite Shakespearean play is Hamlet. And my favorite piece, obviously, is To Be or Not to Be. That is the question.
What was Dylan's favorite spirit day? Undoubtedly Pajama Day. Everyone knows it. It's the best one, hands down. When you get to walk in the school in your slippers, there's no better feeling.
What do I think is the most annoying grammatical error? Hands down, when people use the reflexive instead of the objective pronoun. So, for example, contact me. Don't contact myself. If you contact myself, you're just wrong. So contact me, myself, and I, but don't contact myself. People think it's the right way because it sounds more formal, but it's wrong.
I was thinking the same thing myself.
There you go, but he uses it correctly.
Oh, did I?
Thank you, Dylan.
What is Dylan most excited for at Yale? I think probably just meeting a lot of new people. It's cool because everyone has a different story, and everyone's so different there is what I'm already getting the feeling of, so I'm really excited just to hear a lot of stories from people.
My record, what is my record for detentions in a day? I would probably say, well, what kind of detentions are you talking about? There are class detentions. There's the occasional uniform detention, perhaps the iPhone detention. I just know this. I don't have a record per se, but I do know. I've been trying to institute the policy wherein I get a bonus for every detention I turn in. And if that were the case, what an incentive that would be. I would be a millionaire. That's all I can say.
What did Dylan learn from mock trial? Really putting me on the spot here. I think you learn there's the obvious stuff, right? How to make good arguments so I can fight with my parents better. How to, get good at public speaking. But you also learn a lot about teamwork because every single person who's on there needs to do well or your team's going to lose. If you have one person who doesn't really know what they're doing, that affects the whole team.
Now this hurts me. This hurts me right here. How many shoes do I have in my bag? Well, my bag, at least every day, I will admit, I have at least 4 different pairs of shoes. And sometimes I have upwards of 6. Because I see my bag as my little traveling companion. So if any time we get stuck here at school, I can just open it up and live in it. I've got my shoes in there, and I've got my grade books, I have my pens, and I have my iPad. What more do I need? Because I do believe, I think it was Bette Midler years ago who said, if you're wearing the right pair of shoes, you can rule the world. So every day, I'm always trying to wear the right pair of shoes.
Oh, man. What was Dylan most afraid of freshman year?
No, who?
Oh, who? Who was I most afraid of freshman year? See, I didn't have Miss Keating McKean freshman year. Otherwise, this would be an easy answer. But
You knew enough to avoid.
Oh my goodness. What is my favorite movie adaptation? Well, this may surprise you. It was a cheesy book, as I recall. I was in the doctor's office with my son when he was very little, and someone was actually sitting in the waiting room, and she was weeping. And she was reading The Bridges of Madison County, which, I don't know if it was an Oprah book or what, but it was a book that was just too pedestrian for my taste, too lugubrious. But I did end up reading the book because a very good friend of mine recommended it, and it was okay. But Clint Eastwood took that story, and he made the most wonderful movie out of it.
so you didn't find it to be lugubrious?
I did not.
Wow. I'm shocked. I feel like it's always very lugubrious. Pedestrian movies.
Well, there's lugubrious, and then there's lugubrious.
That's what I always say. Did Dylan ever get a detention from Miss Keating McKean? Well, that depends what type of answer. Formally, no, but I think the amount of times that we had to come back to room 605 at 207 for a mock trial or picking up a paper that wasn't corrected enough, I think it's safe to say yes.
Oh, what is my least favorite movie adaptation? Well, as a mother, my son really got into the Harry Potter series. And so, of course, as a good parent, my husband as well, we all read the Harry Potter series. And I got to the point where when we went to the movie after we had talked about the stories, and I would get so frustrated because they would collapse what was such a dense plot and all the ins and outs into a 2-hour movie, and I'd sit there thinking, but wait a minute, what about? And what about? And the movie would be over. So I just found those frustrating. As wonderful as they were in terms of characterization and so forth, I just found that they cheated. They cheated the plot. So that would be my least favorite for that reason, because the stories are so much better.